Hello and welcome to the Dump and Chase podcast on 88.1 FM, WLA The Start, Lewis University in Romeoville, Illinois. Reid and Rebecca back in the studio with you for Episode 2 of Season 2 of the show. Last week we had Matt Morrow on. We had a great talk with him. That is on our YouTube channel. Rebecca got that up, last Thursday or something like that?
Friday.
What's the YouTube channel name? I can never remember.
Dump and Chase with an exclamation point.
That's right, the exclamation point. Can't forget that.
Nope.
But this week, we are joined by another sophomore, Michael Ligas. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So for the way we do these shows, we're going to start with more of the off-ice stuff for the first half, and then we're going to switch to hockey.
Okay.
So we'll take a break in between. But starting off, we saw on social media that you guys had your golf outing this past week, and that was yesterday, I believe?
It was, yes.
It was? How was that? Tell everyone kind of, what the golf outing is for, who it benefits, and just a little rundown of that.
We all pay to play hockey at Lewis, and the golf outing was just a chance for us to raise money, so we have enough money for playoffs, showcases, new jerseys and stuff. So that was a good chance for us to promote kind of a team bonding activity too.
Sure.
So the freshmen could meet everybody, kind of hang out the whole day, stuff like that.
That's cool. So a good way to kind of support the team.
Yep.
So is that open to anyone that wants to participate, or is it just people involved with the team?
It's open to anyone.
Okay.
We usually invite family and friends out because
Sure.
they like to support us.
Of course.
So that's usually how it goes.
It's a cool opportunity. That's cool. So hopping into the questions, first of all, kind of a blanket question we ask everyone. What made you decide to come to Lewis? Was it kind of the academic side, the hockey side, or a mixture of both for you?
Well, I really wanted to stay close to home, so that was a big reason. I live in Lake Zurich, Illinois, so it's only an hour away because I wanted to stay close to my family. The hockey was also a aspect of me coming here because I talked to Coach Tim Pico, which was my head coach last year,
Sure.
and he kind of told me about the school, and then I went on a campus visit and really liked it. I like the small class sizes. I like the people here. So
Sure, that's good. That's good. So it was kind of hockey kind of second from the school. It was the first thing was the location, it seems.
yes,
for you.
100%.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay, and hockey was kind of the cherry on top of it, so
Yep.
to speak. So speaking of academics, what's your major and what kind of plans you have for the future?
So currently I'm a business major.
Okay.
I'm not sure what I want to go into, but I'm thinking I like the marketing aspect right now.
Okay, nice. Do you see any career in sports marketing in the future, possibly?
Yeah, I'm actually in an intro sports marketing class right now, so I'm
Nice.
looking into that.
I feel like there's a lot of the guys we've had on, they kind of choose their major and then they find some way to bring it into sports as well. I feel like that's a pretty common thing with athletes, but that's a cool way to kind of bridge the gap between the two.
Yeah, I'd love that. Yep.
So throughout your time at Lewis, I know this is your second year, so you've only had one full year here. But has there been any teachers that have been really influential in the classroom for you as of now?
I'd say last year, my religion teacher, Dr. Colonna, was really helpful with me. He'd always have office hours for me. He'd help me write papers whenever I needed help. So
That's good.
he was really good.
And I imagine that's a big plus being an athlete. Obviously, you have a little bit more time pulled away from school with practices and games like that. So it's good
especially
to have the
as a
professors
freshman,
like
too.
Yeah, you're kind of adjusting with everything as well, so that makes it a little bit easier. What goals did you set for yourself freshman year? Let's say kind of school-wise and hockey-wise for your career here at Lewis.
Well, freshman year, academic-wise, I wanted to reach a 3.0 grade point average, and I ended up succeeding in that, so that was really big for me.
Nice.
And hockey-wise, I just want to contribute to the team, play my role as best as I can.
Sure.
I got put on the power play, which was really nice to see, and kind of contributed there. So, yeah.
So you talk about the role on your team. Where do you think you kind of slot in to this current roster that we have?
So I'd say I'm a guy to get pucks, get loose pucks, win the board battles, get pucks to the net, hit all my passes.
Sure.
I'm a playmaker, I'd like to say.
Sure. You do a little bit more of the dirty work in the corners as well.
Yep.
Sure. Nice. What would you say is the strangest talent you have?
Strangest talent I have.
This is where we get into more of the fun questions. These are the thinkers now.
No pressure.
Strangest talent I have. I don't know.
What have we had from other guys?
So last year, Pickle said he could fit a quarter in his belly button. Zach said he wasn't talented at anything except for taping sticks and eating ice cream.
Taping sticks in the ice cream.
Which is ironic because everybody says he has the worst tape job.
I'd agree with that.
No surprise there.
I'd say a good talent of mine. I'd say I like to play with my dog a lot. I like to do tricks with him and stuff. I'd say that's a good one.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Getting that animal connection is always good. What are 3 things on your bucket list that you want to do in your life?
I'd like to go skydiving.
Okay.
That was a big one last year.
That's a pretty big one.
Yeah, I know.
Explain to us the draw of skydiving.
It's just something like it's an adrenaline rush, I guess. Like once you do it, you could say you did it, kind of cross it off the list.
Sure.
I have a little thing with heights, so that'd be good for me to do.
There you go.
I'd like to go to Mexico because I know a lot of my friends have been there.
Okay.
So I'd like to go there on spring break or something.
Sure, that would be cool.
And I'd also like, when I'm older, to get 2 dogs, 2 German Shepherds. So that's a big bucket list thing for me.
That would be cool. I feel like, I don't know, I want a dog someday too.
Yeah, I'm a big dog guy.
I feel like just having like the companionship of an animal, you know?
Yep.
There's something like, obviously you can have the companionship of another person, but there's something just about an animal, you know? It's a little bit different.
Best friend.
You know? Exactly. Let's see. If you could invite anyone, living or dead, to dinner, who would it be and why? And we throw in a twist. What meal would you serve them?
Ooh, living or dead? Well, I'm a big Blackhawks guy.
Okay.
So I guess I'd have Jonathan Tays to dinner.
Okay.
I'd probably ask him what he wants to eat, but I'd probably go with steak. All hockey players love steak, so I'd throw that to him.
I feel like that's the standard one. What did other guys say last year? Partial had the best answer.
Did he say like Jesus or
Partial
something?
said Jesus, yeah.
Of course he did, yeah. That's a partial thing to say.
Did you listen to the episode, or did you just know that knowing Partial?
Oh, we talked about it in the locker room.
Got it. I think what made it even better was that was an episode where we had Dylan and Zach on.
Yep.
And Partial went first, said Jesus, and said that he'd feed him sushi. And then Zach goes afterwards and says Kevin Hart. And Partial just like has like a mild blow up on. He's like, Kevin Hart? I say Jesus and you say Kevin Hart?
Yeah, that's a hard one to follow up there.
It is, yeah. Yeah. So send the bar high for him. Let's see. If you could keep only one app on your phone, what would it be?
Probably Safari. Need that.
Got to get the web browser?
Have to.
That's fair. That's a good call.
Yeah.
Not a very popular pick, but it makes a lot of sense.
I'm surprised.
A lot of guys have been, what
Snapchat, TikTok. Dylan said Whoop, which is his fitness tracker.
Yeah, he's a big Whoop guy. It is pretty cool. I'll give it to him.
The Whoop is like the band that you just wear constantly,
so it shows you like your recovery rate. I looked into it a little bit. It's just recovery rate, like how much calories you burn, stuff like that.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see Partial being into that now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Fitbit. I don't know if you guys heard of a Fitbit.
Yeah,
it's like a Fitbit on steroids, it seems like. It just does a lot more. And I feel like it's a lot more expensive too, but I guess if you need it, it's worth it. Being an athlete, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it would fit. What are your top 3 burger toppings for your ultimate burger?
I'd say bacon, the first one, definitely.
Okay, good pick.
Then lettuce, and then I'd throw tomato on there too.
Tomato, there we go. What do we have? Jack
I
gave
still
us
think Jack's the best.
Jack gave us like the ultimate burger.
The heart attack special, as he called it.
He went like way over the 3 toppings, but we just let him because he was on a roll.
Oh, he was just rolling with
it. What do y'all have?
Bacon, lettuce, jalapeno, ketchup, pepper jack cheese, mayonnaise, hot sauce, and cheesy fries.
Yeah, that's a pretty big burger there.
I don't think he left anything off of it. That's just like everything you need. I can see it
I think he said
Jack,
later on he might throw on some onion straws, but...
That's a good one, though. That's a good one.
That is. I can see why he would call it the heart attack special. Not surprised there. Let's see. If there was an arm wrestling tournament on the hockey team, single elimination bracket, who's coming out on top?
I'd say a kid from our team last year, Joey Findaka.
Okay.
He was a really strong kid.
Sure.
I don't know if you guys remember him, number 24. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'd definitely put my money on him.
Okay. What about from the current roster?
I'd say Dylan Partial.
Partial?
I know he
Those
works
were
out
2 big
hard.
ones.
That's been like the unanimous answer we've heard was Partial. Yeah.
Colton last year said you.
Colton said me?
Colton described you as having the farm boy strength.
Wow. Thank you, Colton. Thank you. That's a good compliment.
But Partial's been the answer that Morrow gave too, correct?
He said Ernie, Partial, and Bishop would all be up there, but Partial would win.
Yeah.
Ernie's a good one, too. He's really strong.
I feel like Ernie's like, he doesn't look like like a bigger guy because he's like not the tallest guy, but I feel like he could come out on top easily.
Oh yeah, I know he works out a lot.
He'd just like pull it out of nowhere, just seemingly just like see him on the street, but he'd still come out on top.
Yeah.
Let's see. If you were stranded on an island and help is coming in 7 days, and you can bring 2 teammates along with you to help you get through those 7 days, who would they be and why?
I'd bring Matt Morrow and Brett Kandra.
Okay.
Because I spent a lot of time with them last year. We're all sophomores. We're all the same age. I know they're 2 pretty smart kids, so I feel safe between them. So.
Matt said you last week.
Morrow.
So it seems like there's a connection there, so that would work out well. What did other people say?
We had Darcy because he would befriend everybody on the island.
He definitely would.
Edling for comedical relief. And then Morrow because he has a good laugh.
He does have a good laugh.
The argument for Jack was that he'd befriend everyone, and once help would arrive, no one would want to leave the island because you would just know everyone on the island so well that you wouldn't want to leave.
Yeah, he's a very friendly kid, very friendly
You'd
kid.
just be kind of forced to stay. You'd just be a part of the community at that point.
Yeah.
In those 7 days. Last semester, a little background on this question. Rebecca, we wanted to add more questions to this. So Rebecca went online and looked for lists of, what did you even look for? Like lists of interview questions?
I just put in interview questions, and the question was from like a job interview.
I don't know what job interview would ask
I have
this,
no idea, but
the question is, how would you react if you were transformed into a fish?
I'd probably react pretty shocked, pretty surprised. I'd probably be freaking out a little bit.
We had Jack ask us what kind of fish he would transform into. So if you could choose a fish to be transformed into, what fish would it be?
I'd probably pick a goldfish because nobody's gonna catch me. Nobody's gonna eat me. I'll be safe. People will be taking care of me. Probably be a pet.
I think you're the first person that's actually named a fish because everyone else has gone straight for shark.
Jeez. That's a good one too.
They want to make sure that they're safe if they get transformed into a fish, even though if it's not exactly a fish. If you could spend a day in any of your teammates' shoes, who would it be and why?
I'd probably have to choose Matt Gore on that one.
Okay, we've heard that one before.
He's a very quiet guy. I don't know. We don't really know what he's thinking all the time. I kind of just want to see what's going on with him.
Just kind of get a bit into his mind.
Yep.
There you go. You talked earlier about your connection with the other sophomores on the team. You're one of how many sophomores are now on the team?
So it's me, Brett Kandra, Matt Morrow, and Connor Johnson.
So there's 4 of you guys.
Correct.
How has that kind of having guys that are same grade as you helped kind of become a part of the team more? Has that helped in kind of last year, freshman year?
Oh, definitely, hands down. I know me, Brett, Morrow, and Johnson, we'd always be hanging out and stuff, and
sure.
On the ice we'd help each other out. It was definitely a big part of me adjusting in Lewis hockey.
Sure. So there are obviously the younger guys that you were close to. Was there any upperclassmen that was kind of a mentor for you last season?
Yeah, I'd say Dylan Parshall, Matt Ernstein, Chris Esty, and then probably the most, he was my veteran last year, Nick Mate, really close to him.
Sure.
He was actually back last weekend for the golf outing, so
it
was nice to see him, yeah.
Nice, because he's out in Pittsburgh right now for his Masters? Nice. What was it about Nick that filled that mentorship role for you?
He was just always he was always there whenever I had a question or needed something. I knew I didn't feel uncomfortable asking him. I didn't feel like I was bothering him. He was always there for me.
Sure. So. He was just an easy guy to go to.
Exactly.
I feel like Nick is always kind of a more level-headed guy on the ice,
Oh, yeah, super nice kid.
Always can kind of be the balancing point, it seems. Kind of like the voice of reason on the bench almost.
Oh, 100%.
That I could see, yeah.
Yep.
So we talked about your personal life. We're going to take a break, talk a little bit more hockey after the break. We got some more fun questions thrown in there as well. But we're going to take a quick break, play a couple songs. You're listening to the Dump and Chase Show on 88.1. We will be right back with more hockey talk. Welcome back to the Dump and Chase podcast on 88.1. Reid and Rebecca back in the studio with you. Prior to the break, we were talking with Michael Ligas about some off-ice questions. Now we're going to focus more on the main part of the show, hockey, of course. So starting off with Michael, how old were you when you started playing, and what was kind of the driving influence for you to play?
When I started playing hockey, I was 4 years old, so pretty young. My mom and dad were both hockey fans, so they kind of got me into it, and they told me to stick with it, and I did, and I loved it. So
that's good. Do you remember, or you have any memories of your first time skating?
Well, I know I learned to skate at Barrington Ice Arena.
Okay.
And that's about 10 minutes from my house, very close.
Okay.
So I just remember I'd skate, and I'd have to use like a bar to help me skate because I couldn't balance
keep you
because I was so
balanced.
young. Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
But I remember just doing that and trying to get the hang of it.
Sure.
My dad tying my skates when I was younger, before every ice. I remember
Sure.
that too.
Do you have any profound memories from learning to play hockey? I know Morrow brought up last week about how he has like the memory of doing his first crossover was like a big thing. Was there any like big kind of like checkpoint in your progression that
I'd
really
say
sticks out?
for me, it was learning how to shoot the puck high.
Okay.
So, like, to pick corners, kind of. Because when I was younger, I really struggled with lifting the puck high. So, when I did that for the first time, it was a pretty big thing for me
It
personally.
was kind of like that little hurdle to get over, but
Yep.
once you got over it, sure. So, throughout your career, as you kept playing hockey, what kind of made you want to keep playing hockey? Because I imagine that there were other sports that, you may have played when you were younger. What was it about hockey that you kept wanting to just play?
Well, to start off, I think I was the best skilled at hockey out of other sports I played.
Okay.
And I just like the hockey culture, like the locker room,
Sure.
the kids. I like the competitiveness of it. I just fell in love with it, basically.
Sure. What other sports did you play?
Well, in high school, I played lacrosse on my high school team.
Okay.
Up till senior year.
Got it. Okay. Are there a lot of carryovers between lacrosse and hockey?
People say they are. I personally don't really think so.
Okay.
I think they're two different sports.
Okay.
But
Got it. Because I feel like a lot of people think that there's a lot of crossovers. You hear like, oh, lacrosse is just hockey on land, but
I don't think so. But I will say lacrosse helped me big with my cardio running on the field because I was
sure.
a midfielder.
Okay.
And it also helped me with my hand-eye big time.
Sure. A little bit of carryover, despite them not being too closely related. What player have you modeled your play style after? Whether it's a pro player or maybe a player, even on the Lewis team or from teams in the past that you've tried to model yourself after?
I'd say number 91 on the Blackhawks, Dominic Krajula. I just like how he plays. He gets a loose pucks. He gets pucks to the net. He got moved up a couple lines in playoffs, so he's playing with like Patrick Kane, gave him a couple assists. So I just like his work ethic.
Sure. A little bit more reflective of your game as well.
Exactly.
Is there anything specific throughout your career that you had to give up in order to play hockey?
Well, I gave up lacrosse my senior year, so I played up till senior, freshman, sophomore, junior.
Okay.
And then I committed to Lewis to play hockey, and I had a hockey scholarship, so I just didn't want to get hurt or risk anything. So I did give up playing lacrosse my senior year.
Sure. Was there any thought of playing lacrosse in college, or was it always hockey?
It was always hockey. Lacrosse was just kind of thing because my grandpa actually coaches youth lacrosse. So he was like, "Oh, spring's like the off season for hockey."
Oh,
like,
sure.
So that was kind of why I did it.
Just something to kind of fill in that time.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it. So you went straight from high school to college hockey.
I did.
You did. Okay. Was there any discussion of playing junior hockey like some of the other guys on the team, or was it always just college?
There was. I skated with several junior teams when I was coming up. I know the team that Zach and Dylan played for, the Cougars. I skated with them.
Sure.
Because my youth coach, my U18 coach, was a scout for them.
Okay.
I played for the same youth team as Partial. So.
Okay, got it.
And there's thought of it, but I wanted to go straight to college. I didn't really want to take a year off.
Sure.
So.
Sure, just want to keep going with school.
Exactly.
Sure, that makes sense.
Because school is always first for me. So.
Of course. So your current number is 19.
Yep.
Correct. Okay, my memory's still right from last season. Why did you choose 19? Have you worn it your whole career? Is it something new for Lewis? Is there any kind of meaning behind it?
Well, I wore the number 17 for youth hockey, and then I came to Lewis and it was taken. So 19 was kind of the next number I wanted to pick.
Sure.
Thought it was nice, and I intend with sticking with it till I graduate.
Nice. We've heard some stories of other guys that have chosen new numbers coming to Lewis. Justin did the same because he wore 29 at his previous school, I believe, and he had to jump to 31. But he kind of he talked about kind of starting a new chapter with the new number.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a cool concept.
I thought that is cool.
Coming in and starting kind of your own legacy with that number for this period of your career, which is cool. Do you have any nicknames from the team?
Everybody just basically calls me Ligas by my last name.
That's what we've been hearing a lot.
Yeah, always Ligas, never Michael.
So we kind of talked about this earlier. What kind of, we've talked about your role on the ice. What kind of role do you think you fill off the ice for the team?
This year's a sophomore. I'm trying to be more vocal. I want to be there for the freshmen and kind of help them out, give them a positive experience like I got.
Sure.
I'm just there. If anybody needs me, I'll help anybody out,
Sure. So we kind of talked about this last week with Matt, but just kind of as a refresher, how is this season going to differ from last season because of, the pandemic and everything? Obviously, it's being moved back to January.
Right.
Or that's the hopeful launch date of the season. But what kind of changes can we expect in terms of scheduling, in terms of amount of games played?
As of right now, we're currently figuring all of that out.
Okay.
So I'm not too sure, but I know every other team's going through that. I think the amount of games we play might be a little less.
Okay.
But we're still planning on having, a season and playoffs second semester. So
because Matt mentioned that they moved back nationals only by 2 weeks, I believe it was.
Yeah.
For the ACHA.
Yep.
So you're going to have, obviously, a considerable less amount of time, but...
Right, because I know over spring break, when we usually don't play games, obviously we're going to be playing games this year.
Oh, sure.
So that's going to be a big thing, so...
A big part of your schedule, though, is that you guys don't play games over Christmas break either, though.
Right.
Normally you guys are off for, that almost whole month of time.
Yeah, we are.
So hopefully taking that time out and, starting fresh from January can help the scheduling maybe. So this past season, did you have any pregame rituals that kind of helped you get in the zone for a game?
Well, I always go to the rink, walk in the locker room. First kid I say hi to is Matt Gore.
Okay.
Because he was my stallmate last year.
Okay, sure.
So I go, say hi to him, talk to him. Then I usually change out of my suit. I usually jump rope before the games. Then play sewer with the team that I know you guys saw. And then do warm-ups and listen to my music. I'm ready to go.
Any specific music you listen to prior to the game?
Usually Linkin Park.
Okay.
That gets me going a little bit.
Does the playlist ever change depending on your play? If you have a good game, do you stick with the same songs as the previous game or anything like that?
I've been sticking with it.
You've been
I don't
sticking
usually
with it?
change it.
Got it. We heard from Colton last year about his very intricate gum chewing routine.
Yeah, we do see that.
Which honestly just confused me so much when he described it, with having the different sticks of gum for the different stages of it. But I guess whatever works. Is it just a goalie thing, you think?
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. I think he kind of does his own thing over in his corner. We just let him do it. So
just let him be, if that's what gets him into the zone.
He plays good, so whatever works.
Yeah, exactly. Matt told us last week about how Esty and the guys that went to the rink,
they always have to stop at the same gas station.
Yeah.
They had to stop at the same gas station, and Chris had to buy the same thing at the exact right time for everything prior to the game. So just that ritual thing. Does it come from a spot of superstition, or is it just the familiarity of it?
I don't know. I mean, you'd have to ask them, but I think it's just if you don't do it, what will happen?
Sure.
Or it's just as a hockey player, you want to. I think it's more of not superstition, but just preparing for the game,
sure.
So it's just I have to do this, all done by game time. So
it's just kind of that one more step that leads you up into game time.
Yep.
I imagine it kind of helps you kind of count down to puck drop as well.
Easily, hands down.
You kind of hit those marks along the way to it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's see. If you could play any other sport at the collegiate level, we kind of touched on this before with lacrosse. Would it be lacrosse? Would it be a different sport that you would want to?
I'm probably with other sports, I'm probably the best at lacrosse, so I'd go with that. Yeah.
Sure. Was it pretty much lacrosse and hockey growing up for you out of those two?
I actually started lacrosse in high school.
Okay.
I said. So in middle school and elementary school, I played baseball.
Got it.
So it was baseball and hockey. Then I got into high school, and I play hockey on teams in the off season.
Okay.
So baseball is a little more strict with if you miss practice, you sit out a certain amount of games. So that's why I kind of went to lacrosse.
Got it. So throughout your hockey career, what has been the most important lesson that hockey has taught you?
Probably keep my head up, and that applies in hockey and life. If something doesn't go your way or, something like that happens, just keep going, keep grinding. Good work ethic.
Sure. Always keeping that head up and, kind of that next shift mentality as well.
Yep.
What kind of team bonding activities take place for you guys coming from a freshman perspective when you came into the team? What kind of stuff took place kind of those first couple of weeks to kind of get you acclimated to the hockey, the college hockey environment?
So we couldn't do a lot of team bonding this year because of the COVID-19 pandemic. But last year when I was a freshman, we had Hell Week.
Okay.
So it was a week before school. Nobody was there, just a hockey team. And we'd literally be with each other from 8 a.m. to like 10 p.m.
Wow.
Just skating, working out. We had some fun activities. Like I know we played volleyball, softball.
Sure.
And then we'd just hang out after on our own. We'd be with each other for breakfast, lunch, and then dinner most of the time. So that helped me get adjusted.
Sure. I imagine that. And that's the way to kind of meet most of the team as well, especially with all the practices that are thrown in there as well, getting everyone ready for the season.
Yeah. Hell Week was very beneficial for me as a freshman.
Sure. Kind of going into it, I imagine you're like, oh, what am I getting into? But
I was definitely nervous.
Coming out on the other side, though, there's a lot of benefits to it, I imagine.
Oh, a ton of benefits, yeah.
Let's see. What do you think your best skill is as a player?
I'd say I'm a net front on the power play, so I screen the goalie when the defenseman or when one of the wings shoot. So I'd say that's my best skill, just kind of getting in the goalie's way so he can't see, letting our shooters pick the corner or pick anything and score. So.
Sure, just filling that playmaker role that we talked about before.
Yep.
If you could have one skill from a teammate, what skill would it be and who would it come from?
I'd probably say speed from Chris Esty, or that was on our team last year from this year, Zach Bishop.
Okay.
I'd love to have that speed.
Yeah.
That's a really big thing.
We've heard about Zach's speed from a lot of guys before, and just kind of skills taken from Zach in general. But for a defenseman, he can move, and he can also shoot the puck.
Oh, he can,
which is crazy. We heard, which goalie gave us the contact story?
Justin.
We heard the story about how Zach got like contacts halfway through last season, and like beforehand, like the post was blurry, but he was still sniping it on the goalies.
Yeah, I remember that.
And they just could not believe it. But let's see, if your teammates could choose an animal to describe your playing style, what do you think they would say?
An animal, maybe I don't know. It's a tough one. An animal. Maybe just a bear out there because, I mean, I'm a big body, kind of just going around. So
Sure. Let's see. If you could play for an NHL team, which one would you play for? Would it be the hometown Hawks?
If I play for the NHL team, I'd pick any that wanted me. I don't care which one, last place, first place. But if I had to pick, I'd probably go for the Hawks.
For the Hawks.
In Chicago.
Sure.
But
going back to kind of the skills, if you were to get a player card in the NHL games, what do you think your highest rating category would be?
Probably intensity.
Okay, I like that.
I'd probably do intensity. Yeah.
Nice. What else have we heard?
Somebody said their comedy skills. I think that might have been Dylan.
Probably. I could see that.
Skating, forechecking, and communications.
I like the intensity one, though.
Yeah, that kind of ties into forechecking.
Sure. That kind of fits your play style. If you were to make it into the league, would you rather have a Stanley Cup or be in the Hall of Fame?
I'd do a Stanley Cup because that's more of a team thing, not like a singular thing.
Sure.
So I'd like something like that, team-oriented.
Kind of what we heard from Matt
Mauro,
as well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What is the strangest thing you've seen happen on the ice? Kind of your hockey oddity.
I'd say I saw somebody's blade fall off. That was kind of nuts. Because, like, growing up, skates, there's a trigger on them now that you could pop blades out. And it's really nice. You don't have to unscrew the blade. But when they came out with the trigger, I saw a blade just shoot off a puck and the blade just shot off. Saw that in a playoff game a couple days ago, too. So that was kind of crazy.
I remember second round Vegas-Vancouver, Robin Leonard had a game where he lost a skate blade twice in the same.
Hawks,
Was that against the Hawks? Was that first round?
I believe so.
I don't know, but he lost like a blade twice in the same period.
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah.
I think he just got a whole new skate during the intermission.
Yeah, I
that one
I lost it twice too.
That one just wasn't cutting it, I guess. What was Colton's story was when he was a ref. And he said that there was a coach that got mad at him for calling an offside that benefited his team.
That's kind of nuts.
So it wasn't even the coach's team that got called for the offside, and he was still mad.
That's a little strange.
I don't know if, maybe the guy just had somewhere to be, and he just wanted the game to be over.
Yeah,
no more stoppages of play, I gotta go, Don't call the offsides. Let's see. What is something interesting that people may not know about you?
Something interesting that people may not know about me. I have a little sister. I don't think a lot of people know that.
We were talking during the break. You said that she plays travel hockey?
She does play travel hockey. She plays in Addison, so it's about 30 minutes away from campus.
So you guys are a hockey family?
We are, yeah.
Very much. That's cool. Let's see. Did you put your order on? Whoa. Let's try that again. Words are hard. That's our first moment of the semester. Wow. What order do you put your equipment on? Are you kind of like left to right, right to left? Anything specific?
I usually do left to right.
Left to right? Okay. Yeah. Do you do skates before pants or pants before skates?
I do pants before skates.
Pants before skates. I don't think we've had a guy yet that does skates first.
Yeah, I don't really think that's that common.
I don't think it is. Yeah.
I think Dylan mentioned it, but he said he had like a girdle.
Dylan has a girdle, so it's different.
Yeah, I also have a girdle, but I just don't want to unstrap it every time I strap it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like, I'm also, like, before games, it's just like, if I don't strap it the same, it's going to be too tight, too loose, so I just kind of leave it when I like it.
Sure. I would say, do you have any kind of equipment rituals like that, kind of like, maybe like between periods, do you keep a lot of your equipment on, take some of it off?
Between periods, I usually take my top half off, so helmet, jersey, chest protector, shoulder pads, and then I just keep my Under Armour on. Kind of helps me cool down, because obviously in the locker room, like you guys see in our locker room, it's going to be a little hotter than the ring, so, and my adrenaline's up, so I just like kind of chill out.
Kind of cool down a little bit? Yeah. Jack told us that when he ties his skates, he gets them, like, if he gets them like perfectly tight for the first period, he doesn't touch them the whole game.
Yeah, I don't untie my skates either.
I can see that though, because I feel like once you get like the lace tension down perfectly, everything's feeling good, kind of like don't fix it if it's not broken, kind of.
Oh, 100%.
Let's see. What is your biggest pet peeve in hockey?
Basically, just always work hard and try your hardest. Like, I know with our team, that's never a problem. Everybody's always going 100% at practice, so it's just try your hardest. Like, if you mess up, it's all right as long as you're working hard.
Yeah. Looking at the team, there's definitely a kind of next man up and, always kind of like never leaving anything in the tank each shift,
Right.
Kind of like skates hit the ice, you go 100%, come back on the bench and do it all over again,
Always,
but that's what you need to win, and, I think the results from last season speak to that.
Yep.
If a player had to fill in and coach a game, who do you think would be the best option?
I'd say Matt Morrow, actually.
Okay.
He's a little bit of a quiet kid, but like I talk to him a lot, and he knows hockey. He knows what he's talking about.
He's got the hockey IQ.
He does, definitely.
I think you're the first person that said Morrow.
Everybody else has said Partial or Esty.
Partial's gotten a lot of votes.
Yeah, they're pretty loud. I could see him coaching their game. I'd be more than comfortable with them behind the bench too. Any of them.
They'd be the ones to fire up the team if necessary.
Oh, 100%.
As a coach. If you could participate in any skills competition for the All-Star game, what would you compete in and why?
Probably passing. I'd say I could hit my passes.
I forgot about the passing one. Yeah. That one's kind of overlooked.
Passing? Yeah. I know shooting's a big one.
I would say
skating's a big one.
A lot of people focus on like the accuracy and like the fastest skater, but the passing one gets overlooked.
Yeah, I kind of liked watching it too, because like there'd be crazy passes, like saucer passes on the ice.
I was gonna say,
so it was kind of fun.
Some of the challenges they give the guys, it's like that's crazy,
And they do it. It's insane.
I would say they hit them like it's nothing. Let's see, if both goalies were to go down in a game and a skater had to strap on the pads, go between the pipes, who would it be?
I'd say Zach Bishop or Dylan Partial, just because they work at a goalie school.
Yeah, so
and
we've
they
heard.
shoot on the goalies, so I think they pick up a thing or two there.
We've heard a lot of Partial, a lot of Darcy as well.
Darcy, yeah.
Yeah.
But who said that Darcy would just have the mentality to just do whatever the team needs?
Not afraid of anything.
I think that was David that said that last year.
Yeah. Let's see. Who has the worst tape job on the team? I think we all know where this is going.
I think we touched on it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to give that one to Zach Bishop.
I think Zach officially has the unanimous vote for worst tape job.
I mean, he even said himself, too. So.
I was going to say, he admitted it himself. So, who has the cleanest stall in the locker room, and who has the dirtiest stall?
Well, for the stalls, we have to put our gear on a certain way, on the stall. So, I'd say everybody's is pretty clean, but Eric Pickowitz, his stall gets a little dirty because he just piles, Under Armour and socks up, and we're always like, come on, Eric.
We've heard about Eric's socks. We've heard about that in the past, and I think Eric may be the unanimous vote for dirtiest stall.
Yeah, everybody said him.
Just because of the socks, I feel.
Yeah,
I feel
he
like
just
we've heard about the
piles
socks.
them up on the bench there and leaves them. So.
Are just like a pile of like hockey socks or like actual socks or just both or
I've seen hockey socks.
there's just socks everywhere.
Yeah.
Who would you say has the best and worst hair on the team?
I'd say best hair is probably Darcy.
Okay.
He's always in mint condition. I don't know how whenever I see him. Worst hair, I don't know. I don't really want to throw anybody under the bus.
Everyone's hair kind of looks bad after it's under a hockey helmet, though.
Yeah, I know when I had
for 2 hours.
Longer hair. I don't know if you guys remember, but after games, it'd be all over the place. It'd be terrible. So.
Well, didn't Morrow say... someone mentioned your hair last season when you had the flow going.
Yeah.
Was that Matt?
Say that again, sorry.
Someone mentioned Michael's flow from last season being best hair. I think it was Morrow. I can't remember now.
I don't know. Last year, a lot of people said you had the worst hair, but I don't remember who said who had the best hair.
I don't know.
I know a lot of people were mad when I cut the long hair. So
yeah, because you had like a long flow going too.
Yeah, I was growing it out since I started my senior year. Yeah.
That was since wow.
Yeah.
So that was like a good 2 years at that point.
Yeah. So I know when I came back from, I forgot what break it was, but I came back from break and chopped it. Then I think everybody started saying I had the worst hair after that.
Oh my gosh! I didn't realize it was growing that long. Wow.
Yeah. Might make a return this season though, so keep your eyes open.
Little bit of a teaser. That's a reason to tune in now. You can tune into the Flyers hockey games to get an update on the flow, how that's going. Who would you say is the best skater on the team?
Best skater, probably Bishop.
Bishop?
I give it to him, yeah.
That's fair. He can skate surprisingly well for a defenseman.
Yeah.
It always surprises me.
Matt Ernstein, he's a really good skater too, very shifty.
Who would you say on the team has the best style?
Best style, I'd probably give it to Darcy.
Darcy?
Yeah.
We've heard about that. We've heard about Darcy's peacoats.
Yeah,
about
he's always
how everyone likes
them.
Always something different.
Yeah, it's always nice to see what he shows up in.
Who'd you say has the best hands on the team?
I'd give that to Matt Ernstein. Hands down.
We've heard that one before. That's a pretty unanimous pick.
Yeah, he has very quick hands.
He's had some filthy dangles though.
Oh yeah.
He had a good move in one of the Marion games.
I don't remember which one it was, but I know what you're talking about.
It was one of the Marion games, and it was I think it was I can't remember which game it was, first or second, but that was a good move he pulled out there, and he's done it plenty of times before. So new this year for the show, we want to get the players' input on who we should have on the show next week.
Okay.
So do you have any picks for who should be on the show for next week? Who our next guest should be?
I think Brett Kandra would be good.
Brett Kandra?
Get him on there, yeah.
Okay. Morrow gave us the recommendation of Ernsting.
Oh, definitely.
But that's just because Matt, we have started the campaign to try to get Matt to stay a fifth year, to be the fifth year senior captain. So that's kind of our whole push now, because Matt very heavily pushed it to keep Ernie for a fifth year, hopefully. But we'll reach out to Brett and see if he wants to be on the show. Hopefully he does.
Fingers crossed.
It's a good time. You can vouch for it now.
We're not scary, I promise.
Yeah. Oh no, I'll definitely send Brett a text.
You can
after
be
this.
you can be our living proof along with all the other guys that have been on. We also added a segment last semester where we're giving you the option to ask us any questions that you may want to ask. So Rebecca has the list if you want to pull some off of there, or any ones that you can think of.
I'd say, what was your guys' favorite part of being on the road with us last year?
Oh, favorite part of the road trip.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
We talked about you guys coming on a couple.
Yeah.
I just still have to stick with my answer from last week, just the conversations I've overheard.
The conversations, oh yeah.
I'd have to go with the trip to B-Dubs, dinner at B-Dubs.
Yep.
That was hilarious. There were a lot of funny moments that we were sitting with the two goalies on the one end.
Oh boy. And
just hearing the banter going back and forth between them was hilarious. I mean, Colton dropped his fries halfway through, and that all happened. And
post-game B-Dubs on the road is always a fun time.
Yeah, that was...
Or the Quick Trip Adventure.
The Quick Trip Adventure was good. That was good, too. We mic'd up Partial for that. That was hilarious.
Oh, I'm sure.
That was good, because he's just like a quick trip aficionado.
He loves it.
Knows it like the back of his hand. Anything else? Any other questions for us? No?
No.
Well, it's been good having you on. Thanks for making the time to come in and sit down with us, chat a little bit. Should be good to see the season coming up in January. Hopefully in January.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Is that like a firm date, or is it like hopefully January? Is that what they're aiming for?
I wouldn't say it's a hopefully. It's like set as of right now, January.
It is. Okay.
Obviously, stuff could change because of the pandemic.
Of course.
So I wouldn't say anything's set in stone at this point. But I'd say we're pretty confident.
Well, hopefully we have Flyers hockey in January.
Yep.
Because it's been too long. It's been too long.
Oh yeah.
Not only for you guys, obviously being off the ice with each other for 6 months, but now you got to wait another 3 to play games. That can't be easy. But thanks for coming on the show. Glad that we could sit down and chat with you. We're gonna take a quick break, and myself and Rebecca will be back. We'll be talking hockey and just COVID life as well, like we did last week. But that concludes the interview segment. This will be up on YouTube eventually.
Yep.
That's kind of our keyword now. Hopefully by the end of the week. But that's been it for the interview. Once again, thanks to Michael Ligas for being on. We're going to play some music, and we'll be right back.